What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk to you about NIO. I want to go over some of the data points, what's moving it, and go over everything else that you need to know. But first, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So NIO is down slightly, 0.64%, 689 the low, 709 the high. So you are seeing a lot of volatility today, but fairly low volume, so 17.7 million shares being traded, 72 is the average. No different than yesterday, we did experience fairly low volume. Yesterday, the market was very hyped up and being somewhat artificially pushed higher through algorithmic trading because of a tentative deal with China. So far, no concrete updates have come out since that rumor or estimated kind of deal coming. But this is kind of the downside of algorithmic trading, because yesterday everything was getting artificially pumped up. Today you're having the algos pivot. So even though we are experiencing low volume, it does seem to want to push a lot of the stocks a little bit lower, which again is rather unfortunate. When it comes to NIO, no official news, so no SEC filings or press releases or anything like that. You do have investors digesting the weekly registration numbers. So it did come in at 10,300. So 1,500 plus for Firefly, 4,300 for NIO, and then 4,500 for Onvo. I personally see that as a good kind of result, but clearly institutions think otherwise because they are not buying the dip at all. So zero transactions occurring on the secondary market above $100,000. Dark pool is a little bit more active, but then again, shorts and hedge funds like to use kind of the dark pool to hide a lot of their transactions. So ultimately, given what shorts are doing, it is fair to assume that most of this is linked to shorting, because at the time of doing this video, shorts are returning 1.09 million shares. 10.49% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 145.23 million shares overall being shorted. As I've kind of mentioned in the past, when shorts do return on a red day, kind of does signal that's not really justified. So again, that's a little bit more of a extra analysis, but cost to borrow minimum is negative. So it is negative 0.22%. That's an annual rate, not a daily rate. So nothing significant, but that does signal that there is brokers out there physically paying people to short NIO. So signs of manipulation, of course, but by shorts freely able to return 1.09 million and not really much happening to the stock price, this goes to show exactly how powerful algorithmic trading truly is. Aside from that though, 1.32 million in calls, 201,000 in puts, 48% of all the options being done were bearish in nature. Keep in mind as well, even though algos were really pushing kind of the stock price higher yesterday, you did have a fair amount of institutions truly trading it because of us getting a lot of good operational updates. So clearly, the market does really favor operational updates. And I don't know, what's your, actually going back over here for a second, what's your kind of viewpoint on the weekly registration numbers? I know a lot of people generally don't like NIO or any stock to move because of these, but I don't know, I'm satisfied with anything over 10,000, or do you think that's rather low? I know they do really need to ramp up for the remaining part of the year if they're going to hit their targets, but still, I guess above 10,000 to me is still positive. But what number would you be satisfied with? Do you want to see like 14, 15,000 or potentially 18? Like, what's your kind of viewpoint? And the reason why I brought up 18, I saw a lot of people on social media saying that they need to do 18,000 or whatever else. From a bull standpoint, you do see a consensus for it to be kind of between that 750 and 8 by the end of this week. So you do still see a good amount of optimism. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 650. So you're seeing more kind of push lower, unfortunately, anticipated. Right now with that $7, you guys already heard me many times say this, $7 is that key pivot. So it ideally will close above that, and that way hopefully we can see a nice push higher, but $7 seems to be that battle zone for right now. There really hasn't been all that much in new analyst ratings. So last one did come out 11 days ago. Probably, I would assume by Monday we'll get some new ratings once they do put out the October numbers, but they didn't seem to care all that much about the September number, so it is what it is. Aside from all of that fun stuff on the actual chart, so despite today's push lower, it is still above that 10-day moving average, and in fact it did kind of bounce off of that, so that's a good thing. Comparing today versus yesterday, you see, oddly enough, not really too much. A little bit more willing sellers, about to 740 to 780 range. But in the short term, all NIO needs is that nice gentle push just to get above roughly around that 714, 715, and then you could easily see a nice push higher to around that 750. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't really consider NIO down and out. Some people do like the consolidation. So whenever a stock is pretty much stagnant, just trading flat, one thing to always consider doing is either like a short strangle or potentially just a covered call. That's kind of one thing to take note of. But of course, if you do feel that there's a chance that NIO is going to like burst higher, just maybe think twice about doing covered calls, because then you can get your shares kind of taken away, unless you're doing it naked on a side note. But there really hasn't been all that much in articles or any news, no analysis at all. You can even see shorts on a kind of day-by-day basis. They aren't really doing too much as well, so they've kind of toned it down. Today, of course, they're returning quite a lot, but lately, ever since October the 6th, they've been rather timid. So at the end of the day, I think NIO just needs that nice gentle push for it to really just break out, get back to kind of these levels that it was at the beginning of October. So let me know your viewpoint on NIO. Are you buying? Are you selling? What's your viewpoint on the registration numbers? And what do you think the next big catalyst for NIO is going to be, aside from their monthly numbers? So let me know your viewpoint. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you're looking for some solid buy signals on stocks, options, crypto. Put out daily day trades, numerous swing trades. Worthwhile to pop over there and check that out. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.